Hey, good morning, everybody. Time for your First Alert Forecast update as we settle on in today. I am WIS First Alert Meteorologist Tony Chivaroli. We are going to be continuing to see a little bit more of these conditions basically settle in over the next just really course of 12 hours. Just going throughout this day, it is going to be sweltering at times. And I want to make sure you're really doing your best to stay comfortable, stay collected, stay calm. Everything, of course, going into today, it's not going to be that different than the past 2 days. So you should be preparing in a similar sense. The only reason we're seeing this is just a little bit more pressing today, a couple degrees hotter. That's really going to be it. And we see a heat advisory in effect from the National Weather Service because of this increase, because temperatures are just a little bit hotter. It's not going to, again, be the biggest difference from yesterday, but just enough to actually hit that threshold. And it's actually a heat index of 108. I'm going to get into that right now. Let's, of course, let's get you out the door first. Let's see what's going on outside. And here we go. Boom, taking you on. We are going to be seeing all that heat just really rising up once more for the region, and really is going to be the impressive type of day because everything we've seen throughout this week, we've been projecting 98, 99. Actually, on Monday, we did technically hit 101 for a brief period of time at the Columbia Airport, but now what we're seeing for today, we're actually projecting that we could hit that mark. We haven't projected these temperatures yet. So what we see today is, yes, that potential to hit around 101, but with a little bit more humidity infused into the region now, we should be getting a heat index 107 to 108, which technically would make this the hottest day of the year so far, especially with what we can see with the heat advisory in effect from the National Weather Service. Haven't seen one of those yet for 2024. So I just got to make sure you're going through all the things, the heat safety checklist that we've talked about, and I'll get to that in a moment after going over the heat advisory. And the funny thing is, Fairfield County, Newberry, Saluda, everywhere out there is still going to be very, very hot today. Probably heat index of 106. It's literally just to the point of, hey, it's not to that 108 threshold. So that's why we're seeing Richland and Calhoun County, Lexington, everyone else out there, Sumter, where the capacity is to hit 108 today. It's funny with that criteria because 2 degrees, it's of course still going to be dangerous heat out there, but our western viewing area not included in this heat advisory because of that reason. So as we go through the heat dangers, everything as you've done through this week and accomplished already, I'm hoping you just go through all of this again, everything to keep yourself safe. And it's not even just about, what you wear, where you can find shade. Obviously, you need to protect those around you. But, with hydrating, you also want to replace your electrolytes as well. You got to be eating right. Electrolytes and antioxidants, things that, you need to put back in your body to replace appropriately. So getting more sodium back, eating fruits and veggies, all good things as we go through this heat. Anything that can help your body get through it and work a little bit harder, because it's tough sometimes when these temperatures rise because you're excessively putting out more energy than you would for a 70, 75 degree day. As we go into spotty storm chances today, we're not really going to be seeing much relief from our temperatures. Everything is really tomorrow is what we keep our eyes on, because that's where we can actually see the capacity to have some of this heat say, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back now. I'm not going to rise up anymore. I'm going to take just a brief break, even though it's still going to be hot and humid for the region. So we go through today, a little bit more of those high temperatures making a rise. Obviously going to be getting very hot with that heat index near 108, and we can't escape it. It has been something I've talked about all throughout this week, and it really is a good way to put it, a heat dome for South Carolina, because we have not seen the potential to change up from it. It's just been ramping up each day, very limited chances of rain, nothing really making it down this way. We got a couple of stray storms, but it's just not enough for an entire region to cool off, of course. Only a few pinpointed spots cool off in the afternoon. Thursday, we can actually see that different, though. Morning hours, I'm anticipating a little bit more cloud cover than we've even seen today. And then by the middle of the afternoon, look at this, starting to fill in a little bit more. Okay, some rain potential, clouds there a little bit more. And this is due to the point of a bit of a tropical air mass trying to come up from the south, but also a weak cold front coming from our north and west. And essentially, those two are almost going to meet up here in South Carolina and result in this. More widespread rain potential. Not 100% widespread. It's going to be likely somewhere between 40 and 50%. So about half of you are going to be seeing some rain and storm activity, but still the potential for some folks to not out about the region. No doubt about it for Thursday. It's going to be a little bit more of a toss-up where some of this will set up, but it is going to be a better rain potential today than anything we've seen for the first half of this week. So I'm hoping that that's going to be helping to cool things off and just give us a little bit of a shake up, because with all of the sun, all of the heat, it's been very intense, and it's been, I'm sure, dawning on some people. You know, energy bills are going to be higher. It's just nice to get a little bit of a break, you know, when you're starting to see all these heat index numbers over 100 degrees. We could still see that on Friday, despite a bit more in the way of that change of pace on Thursday. It's only going to matter so much because we still work to get a bit more of a breeze out of the south or southeast. We're still going to get a lot of that hazy sun and so much direct sunlight still this time of the year. It's so easy for temperatures to make these rises, and we get it again for our Wednesday with another first alert weather day, 107 for that heat index. And then for Thursday and Friday, we have that capacity of a changeup. More in the way of Thursday, I'm anticipating with rain chances. I'm going 40% right now. Was really wanted to go 50, but still wasn't convinced full enough yet with that storm production tomorrow. But whoever does see that activity tomorrow will, I'm sure, there's going to be a lot of people that will love that. It'll be a welcome change of pace. Not everyone's going to love it. You know, a lot of folks would rather stay hot and dry for the rest of the summer, but you just got to understand and think about those a bit more vulnerable to these temperatures and who may have been really struggling out there. And cloud coverage and a bit of some rain could go a long way with that. And the region needs it in general. Going towards the weekend, we could see a bit of that as well for any of your outdoor plans, even though we're only seeing mid-90s there for high temperatures, so not ridiculously above average. Humidity is going to play a big factor, and between Saturday and Sunday right now, I'm looking at heat index potential 108 to 109. So we could be seeing more first alert weather days into our weekend, and with that heat index potential. So I'll make sure that we're talking about that. We're getting discussions done, and if we are going to enact more of those red first alert weather days getting into the weekend with the heat index potential a little closer to 110, just like today. Thank you again for following along. This has been your First Alert Forecast Update. I am meteorologist Tony Chivaroli for news updates close to that 9 o'clock start to the hour. What's new this morning coming up in just a little bit.